What's up, everyone? This is Gurpreet Singh. I'm the Director of Environment, Agriculture, as well as Nutrition for the Africa Healing Foundation, guys. And today we're coming to you guys on Men's Mental Health Month. And, just when it comes down to not just the mental health, it's like the entire physical well-being of men in general. This is what this entire month's dedicated for. And so you guys are probably thinking, like, why are we wearing these costumes over here, right? You're probably like, what is going on? It's America.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween, everyone. But belated Halloween to you guys at this point. Today is exactly the 31st of October. So we're just like recording this to go and start this off for the entire month. And, I got my very, very close brother over here with me. I want him to go and introduce himself. But before I go and say that, we've literally known each other for over 15 years. It's been a long journey with this guy. He knows pretty much everything about me. But I want to go and introduce him onto there. Please introduce yourself, brother.
Yeah, my name is Lolo, aka Rapzilla, the MF and Thriller. I'm an artist. I like to make music. I like to make films, skits. I have a skit company called Saddle Crack Symphonies. We got a couple things out there,
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. And being an artist myself, I obviously find his work to be inspirational in terms of like how hard he's working. And I remember the first time that he recorded me, it was actually for Halloween, interestingly enough. And he asked me, he's like, hey, so what are you going to be for Halloween? And I was like, I'm going to be you, bro.
Yeah.
That was actually in our high school, which is like right across the street from here. But anyways, guys, the reason that we're here to go and talk to you guys is to go and deliver a message and see what you guys have to think about this, and also go and get to know about what he's gone through. Obviously, we've gone through many different men this month with all different kinds of backgrounds. He's one of my artist friends, so I wanted to go and ask you, brother, when it comes down to your mental health as a man, what is something that what do you do to go and help your mental health out? What do you do to go and help your physical health out? What makes you do it? So those are the three questions I want to go and get straight off for that. Just straight fire. Boom, boom, boom.
Honestly, I just don't, a lot of people think the mind and the body are a separate thing, but they're not,
Mm-hmm.
And so I feel like a lot of things that I've been trying to do to improve my mental health are physical things, trying to eat better, trying to be on a better sleep schedule,
Mm-hmm.
trying to get some exercise in,
I feel you.
So I feel like a lot of that contributes to my mental health, obviously not everyone has the same struggles though, some people have chemical issues or chemical imbalances or whatever, and obviously going on jog isn't always going to help everyone, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying on a basic
On a basic for you.
yeah, I feel like it helps trying to live a healthier life, you feel better and shit,
That's what's up. That's what's up. So when it comes down to it, guys, I want you guys to take this first thing that he said, is that, when it comes down to if you have some kind of chemical disbalance, right? Seek the kind of medical help that you really need. We're here to go and help you. Here at the Africa Healing Foundation, reach out to us. We're here to go and help you guys out. We have a group on WhatsApp. Currently, I'm working on developing the CRM that's going to be able to go and serve you guys so that everybody gets free data, as well as is able to go and get accessible help all the time. So we're here to go and help you guys out. But at the same time, the second point that he said, and I want you guys to take this down, is physical exercise, good nutrition, and making sure that you go and do something consistently every single day is something that definitely impacts it. So, my brother, I wanted to go and ask you, what's one of the things that you feel men struggle with in general, in terms of not just their mental health, in terms of their physical well-being? What is one thing? I know the dad bods are in right now, guys, and I definitely don't recommend going for that. I'm telling you, it's not cool to go and just automatically go for the, but you know what I'm saying? It's a trend that's in right now, but you guys know what I'm talking about. So it's similar to that, there's some things that men, in terms of physical health, in terms of mental health, that don't really like, it's a stigma in the society, right? For example, I want to go and give you guys this example. Just because I'm a dinosaur right now, I've been through all these types of evolution, so I'm just messing with you in that kind of regards. That dinosaurs weren't there at that point, but in like the Roman times and like those kind of times, we had a huge thing about like men meeting at bars, at brothels, to go and get together, and that's the only time that they used to go and have a conversation. Or like it was a big thing back in those days in the Japanese culture as well. I'm sure like we watched that anime together, remember? In the Japanese culture as well, when it comes down to it, it was a huge thing to go to bathhouses together, right? And so when it comes down to like the bathhouses, very similar concept. It's about like a place where you get vulnerable, you go and you have conversations with the men that you're around with, right? Because it was segmented in terms of like the different genders. So I want to go and ask you, based off of that historical context, and like, what are men suffering with in terms of their cultural, physical, and mental well-being?
Well, I think they suffer a lot from like toxic masculinity, bro. It's like, oh, men don't cry, or man, like this idea that like emotions aren't valid, and like if men feel them, they're like equivalent to women, and they paint it as like a negative thing. It's like, I don't know, man. It's like, bro, like someone you love dies, you're gonna feel it, man or woman.
I feel you on that, yeah.
So I feel like there's a lot of that kind of stigma on men's mental health, where it's like, it's like, just the whatever like status quo that we have about men having to be strong and all this stuff. It's like, but it's like, yeah, like there's nothing wrong with strength, but it shouldn't be used to shame like valid like emotions. You know what I'm saying?
I get exactly what you're saying, brother. And like, one of the great points that I want you guys to take in that kind of regards is the stigma that we put on as a society towards men in particular, and women as well when it comes down to it. But it's men's health month, and we want to go and focus on it, is that it's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to experience emotions. I mean, we've been together like a long time, and he can go and probably like tell you many times that I literally like came up to him just crying and just gave him a hug and just was able to feel that sense of vulnerability, that he's always going to be there to support me, that he's going to be my brother, he's going to be my friend. So if like the men that are listening out there right now, guys, be there for your brothers, be there to go and support one another. It's okay to go and give one another hugs. And in fact, that's a huge thing, right? When it comes down to it, back in like the olden times, men used to go to war, right? They used to like come back, and men were only allowed to go and show emotion, interestingly enough. Women had to go and be completely like shut down, no emotions, right? They had to go and just like do everything subjugated to like what the tasks that were like told for them to go and do, interestingly enough, right? So when it comes down to it, guys, is that it was not always like this, right? Things have changed, and societal differences when it comes down to what we interpret the culture to be makes a huge difference as to how we actually react to that, right? Now it's the opposite. Men aren't supposed to cry. Big boys don't cry, etc. like that, So when it comes down to it, guys.
Oh, I feel like it's still rooted in the same kind of like, like misogyny, where it's like, it's always based on what is associated with like femininity. That's supposed to be like a negative aspect of masculinity, Or it's like, because even in the other sense that you were talking about, there's like definitely an effect when it's related to how a woman behaves that a man should behave. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I get exactly what you mean, brother. I get exactly what you mean. Is that when it comes down to having like the different gender roles that people try to go and put down, it oftentimes affects the other gender as well, because it's like, hey, you're supposed to be this way and you're supposed to be that way. Now, obviously, we live in California over here, and we have a very open culture when it comes down to most of the world. right? I mean, I know like in Jamaica, one of the songs is "Boom Bye Bye Na Bati Boye," you know? It's like you shoot down gay people. If you see somebody gay, it's actually like perfectly normal in their culture to shoot that person down. Like if a man and man are holding hand, you shoot them down. You murder them. You know. So I know it's kind of harsh, guys. This is not supposed to be a light discussion over here. But in California, we have a very liberal place where we're allowed to go and display different kind of gender roles, right? And I think that really comes down to like our cultural differences, right?
But it's not even like gender roles. It's about, well, like being gay is not about gender roles. I mean, you could argue it like that, but it's not. You know.
Okay.
That's sexual orientation, which can be part of a gender role. But I mean, I guess yeah, dude. If you're talking about men's health, you got to talk about gay men's health too, right? So
without a doubt, we care about each and every one of you guys. We don't discriminate. Just letting you guys know.
So yeah, I mean, like you would have to have like that conversation where it's like,
yeah.
What does it do to like always think that you're gonna be murdered because of how you feel? You know.
Without a doubt, and you know, like personally, I remember 9/11 for me. Like, you know, just being a person that's of color, that has a turban. I remember I was in 5th grade, and I was just, you know, using the restroom, urinating at the time, and a bunch of guys came up and they beat me up to a point where I had to be taken to the hospital, just because of like, you know, the kind of like stuff that I was wearing, because people's values that they have. So one of the things that I want to go and like, you know, like ask you is, what can we do to unify, you know, and create a strong foundation for men to be supportive of each other, to like, you know, like what is like one tip that you can have that's like, hey, like this is what you need to go and do as men to go and support each other. And we're going to close off with that particular one, is that this is the biggest question. You can go and take a couple of moments to think about this, that what is the number one tip that you can go and give to men right now that's going to go and be able to go and change their lives. And I want you guys to go and take this tip down. Again, guys, we're gonna be doing one tip every single day, right? As he's thinking about it, I want you guys to go and like go through it, and at the end of it, you're gonna have a month's worth of tips, right? That's pretty big. That's pretty big from all different kind of perspectives, right? So we're here to go and serve you. And now I want to go over to my friend over here, Andreas, and ask him, what is the number one, like if you were to go and just sign off with like one thing you can go and give off to all the men, and like all the audience that's listening right now, you know, what would it be?
I guess, in my opinion, it would be to question masculinity. You know, like what does it mean? You know, and like, you know what I'm saying? Because we have a lot of these like preconceived notions of like, oh, a man does not sweep, you know, or stuff like that, you know, where it's like, but it's like, well, like why, you know, you can't clean up after yourself, you know. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you on that. We have some friends that definitely do not clean up after themselves. I'm like, yo, come on, dude. It
happens, bro. You know,
it happens.
I'm not even trying to shame. I'm just saying, like,
yeah. We won't use any names. Don't worry.
Not like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's people that are like, you know, like there's a difference. I'm not even like trying to focus on like the cleaning up shit. I'm talking
well, I smell some feet, mate. Trust me. we know what I'm talking about.
But what I'm saying is that there's people out there that they like assume like, oh, men don't clean, women clean, men do this, you know, like obviously those are like very basic stuff, but even just like, you know, oh, like not showing emotion, not reaching out for help, blah blah blah, you know. I feel like once people start really like questioning like what does it mean, like it like helps them try and explore more about like what is available to them and stuff like that, you know.
I feel you on that, bro. I feel you on that. So guys, here's where we're gonna go and tag out, is I want each one of you guys to go and like, you know, like say something positive that you got out of this. If there's something negative, put it on there as well. Like we want to go and have honest, honest comments when it comes down to it, right? We want to go and serve you guys in the best way that we possibly can. And I'm here with the magician, Andreas. And
Mad Hatter.
he's definitely got the Mad Hatter going on right now. But guys, so I want to go and like ask you guys to go and like, leave that comment onto there. Say 3 things that you guys got from this. May you guys join us on the Mad Hatter Tea Party next time. And I just wanted to let you guys know that please go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Get onto, like our Facebook page if you guys think this is like relevant content for you. If you guys think that this is something that changed your life, please share it with at least 3 different people. And remember, guys, together we are limitless.